our dear brother, Comrade Jackson Mthembu, who passed away this morning. We have lost a remarkable person for the ANC. He's come a long way with the African National Congress. From a young student in the 70s, Comrade Jackson grew into one of those formidable political actors in the country who sincerely believed that South Africa could be transformed to make a better life for all of its people. Comrade Jackson was an outstanding organizer in what used to be known as the Eastern Transvaal in his younger days. He grew into somebody who joined government and was an MEC in Mpumalanga. He was a chief whip of the ANC, but primarily he was the voice and the face of the ANC for many, many years, and also the voice and the face of the government in recent years, and in particular in the last couple of months. On a daily basis, we would see Comrade Jackson conducting the media briefings to the country on COVID-19. We have lost a really important person in our lives, and we believe that the space that he took will not be able to be filled very easily. We will always love him, and we're going to miss him dearly. And we hope that as we go on in the next couple of days, we will find a way to heal ourselves, but to understand that the real issue here is that we all have to mind the period we are in, and that COVID is not playing with anybody. And that unless we take matters into our own hands and we are careful and we wear our masks and have social distance and we do not attend gatherings at all, we will be losing many, many more valuable South Africans. Comrade Jackson, I would say he died with his boots on, working for the people of this country. I thank you very much.
Okay, we'll allow for any questions that you might have. Introduce yourself. And
Dr. Kasada from DSTV News. Yes, it was like a week ago when the news broke out that, the minister tested positive. And also, not long ago, the president, gave hope to South Africans by announcing that, at least we'll be receiving vaccines by the end of this month. The death of Minister Mthembu, what does it mean, to the ANC political party that he belonged to, and also the kind of person, just talk to us in terms of the kind of person he was?
I think that, well, first of all, let me say that certainly the country needs to be safe in the knowledge that the government is doing everything in its power to bring the vaccines to our shores. And that we have been told that, the first vaccines will arrive shortly in January. January is now. The reality is that the vaccines on their own is not the solution. The solution lies with us in keeping ourselves safe. And this is what we need to emphasize. Secondly, Jackson Mthembu had an unbelievable work ethic. He worked long hours. His belief was that you didn't leave a job undone. He was meticulous about preparing statements that needed to go out, even if it meant that he worked late into the night. We've worked with him here at Luthuli House. He would work late into the night to perfect a statement so that it was accurate and factual, and then drive to Witbank, where he was living at the time, after he's done the job. He had a great sense of humor, an ability to communicate very easily with people, and to draw people in to a conversation. He could be quite firm, and he could be quite stern if he needed to be, but he really lost friends. He made friends in his life. The friends he has will be his friends forever. So you've lost a person who was very loyal to the country, put the country first at all times, very loyal to the ANC, defended the ANC's values at every turn, and was able to bring to the NEC of the ANC a quality in the debates, based on his knowledge and understanding of the people. So Comrade Jackson wasn't somebody who lived in a cloud. He did interact with people, and therefore he understood what the challenges were for the people and could communicate them very articulately. He was very articulate, but very considerate. So for us who've lost a brother and a friend, this is a great loss. And we're still reeling from the shock. I think not all of us quite know how to process it yet. We're trying hard. But all we can say is that he leaves a legacy of honesty and integrity, and a legacy of deep value to us.
He departs at a time, or should I say, on the eve of the NEC Lekgotla, which among other things will discuss the issue of COVID-19, which continues to claim many lives in South Africa. Surely this means the NEC Lekgotla will have to look deep in terms of the progress and the speed when it comes to COVID-19 response in the country and the issue of vaccines. But also talk to us about him having to defend the ANC during those difficult times. He was the face of the party when it was taking a knock from the public based on allegations of corruption. The image of the party was taking a knock. He departs at a time whereby the party needs him the most.
Yes. Comrade Jackson was not afraid of defending what was important to be defended, and of raising issues that might have been considered to be controversial by other people, because he defended what was the truth. If it was the truth, he would defend it. That was his bottom line. He was somebody who believed that you didn't run away from criticism. You would always get criticism if you're a governing party. And therefore you must expect to be criticized, but you must also be able to answer back with fact and reality. And I think that's a mark that he had. Sometimes he would have to answer in a way that might suggest that he was criticizing somebody in the ANC. It didn't matter to him. He did that. As long as he was able to put the values of the ANC up front, that's what he did. Very awkward. To be a spokesperson of the ANC is not the easiest job in the world. I think he did it excellently well. And he's been an excellent minister in the presidency, leading and coordinating the debates and the discussions on COVID-19. I think we can all remember as recently as a week ago, before the 11th of January, he was the one who was conducting and coordinating the government's response at the time, as soon as we came back from January the 8th.
From Newzroom Afrika. Jessie, I just want to find out, as the ANC, what do you take away from a very senior leader passing away, especially somebody who the nation knows as the communicator of COVID-19? I mean, he was the one right in the forefront delivering these messages to South Africans. As the ANC, what do you take from that?
I think we take away the fact that COVID-19 has no respect for anyone, and it will take anyone away from us. And for that reason, we can only reiterate the call that we make every day for people to adhere to the regulations, to cease and desist with the conspiracy theories, and to understand that it doesn't help you to make up a story about the vaccine going to control your mind, when the vaccine stands between us and death. And that's why the ANC is very determined that we support the government in getting that vaccine to as many people as we can as soon as possible. So that is really our preoccupation. Our Lekgotla to tomorrow and over the weekend, our top priority is to discuss COVID-19. And it's because we've now lost somebody who was passionate, who spoke about COVID-19, who gave the message honestly on every turn. We've lost that voice. And what we believe should happen is for people to understand we can no longer pretend that this does not exist. We cannot listen to stories that say this thing does not exist. It exists. It's real. It is, people are dying. And so we need to, not just as the ANC, but as a nation, understand that the solution is deeper than only a vaccine. The solution is also changing social behavior, understanding that you've got to protect and defend yourself. You've got to wear that mask all the time. You've got to socially distance. Don't attend funerals if you're not an immediate family member. Don't go and visit bereaved families because you're deepening the crisis for them. They understand that you care right now. So for what are we taking away? We're taking away a deep loss that it's too early to calculate how we feel. I am struggling, frankly speaking. I've known him for many, many years. It's difficult even to process that he's in fact gone, but he is gone. And he's not going to come back. And he died because of COVID complications. So we take away that we must abide by the rules. Comrade Jackson, as I said, died with his boots on because he had to interact with people when he was meeting with the media, when he was explaining what the government's position is. There had to be people in the room with him. It's unavoidable that somehow, somewhere, somebody will be infected and will infect other people. Our brother is gone. He's not going to come back. Our beloved NEC member with his delightful laugh and his ability to bring to the NEC great value is gone forever. We should not lose anyone else. We should try not to.
Another question from me, DSG. Have you spoken to the family? How are they coping? I know that it's still quite early, but when are you? I know it's COVID, we can't visit right now. But how is Jackson Tim's family?
They've lost somebody very important to them. So I think, the loss for them is incalculable. We can't describe it. It's deep. It will take them a long time to recover. We must be there to support them, and I hope they know that we are there to support them, and that we will give every support and that we can give. But right now, families in grief, and they'd like to allow this to sink in. It's very, very raw. It's a few hours old. It's raw. So I can't answer how. I only know that they're hurting deeply.
Yeah. Any other taker? Are we done?
If we can abuse the DSG, I know Keith Kozler is here. He worked with Jackson. I know you
Yes.
just giving us a statement on behalf of the organization. But if we can have some comment from Keith Kozler, someone who worked closely with him, please.